Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Jayce, and today I want to talk about the Yeezy Foam Runner and why it is so innovative in the sneaker community. So sneakers were created in 1895 by J.W. Foster and Sons, and footwear have always been created for specific purposes such as athletics, running, walking, training, working, and people with special orthopedic needs in order to support things such as like flat feet. These sneakers have always used a mix of different materials such as polymers or plastics, metals, and woven materials such as cotton, polyester, nylon, and some others to name a few. Now, as a result, you've always seen the same type of sneakers featuring the same materials because there's only certain ways you can form these products, but no matter how many silhouettes come out, they are almost all the same. They will have the same usual upper, the same midsole built into the inside. With the insole, with the outsole, you're going to see the usual eyelets with the usual laces. And in general, if you look at any sneaker, they are most likely going to have a very similar set of features. So if you look at a Dunk, a Jordan, an Adidas shoe, a Puma shoe, they are all constructed in a similar way. So that's why today I want to talk about why the Yeezy Foam Runner is so groundbreaking in its design and why it's so different and such a unique piece of footwear in terms of technology, design. So anyways, before I continue, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. I do a new video every Thursday letting you know about what's going on in the sneaker community. I do reviews, discussions, everything in between, so please make sure you stick around. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. So now let's move on to the video. With traditional sneakers, you have very traditional elements in a piece of footwear. So you have the upper, which includes the vamp, the toe box, the eye stays, the quarter panels, lateral, medial side. You also have the heel counter and also the insole, the tongue, and you have the outsole. Everything is very distinguishable and you recognize everything at this point. So here comes out of nowhere a piece of footwear, the Yeezy Foam Runners. It's neither a sneaker or a slide. It has a very sinuous or curvy shape and has a silhouette from something you'd see in like a movie prop or, you know, something in space, something from the future. So now we're going to talk about how it's made, and we're going to be diving a little deeper into why it's so innovative in the sneaker space. In my last video, we covered the word biomimicry, which covers a lot of shapes and forms and design elements from nature. So this sneaker definitely really reminds me of something like that. And it really builds on that because this sneaker is actually made from algae. They actually grow their algae themselves in their own greenhouses and they mix that with their EVA foam. And that makes it, again, very naturey. It's not just the way that it looks, it's also the way that it is created. It's very natural and super unique process. And yes, we've seen some stuff like that before, but this is definitely on a bigger scale because of the size that the Yeezy brand is or Adidas is. And I always point this out that companies have to innovate or die, especially companies that are publicly traded, forced by competition and other factors to constantly innovate and create new technologies in order to impress their shareholders. This is just another way for the Yeezy and Adidas for them to innovate and create cooler and new technologies that will allow them to do things that were not previously thought possible. So in a lot of ways, this sneaker is very cutting edge, not just in the way it looks. And as you guys will have seen in my last video where I talk about how Nike is striving to become a more environmentally friendly company, this is also another way that Yeezy, Adidas brand is looking to innovate and to be those trailblazers as well in the sneaker industry. I look at this sneaker or piece of footwear, it's not really a sneaker, this piece of footwear as a great experiment to show what is possible for sneakers in the future. It also touches on many important environmentally related topics such as reducing carbon emissions and reducing the creation of waste through production process. For example, there is going to be a bunch of waste that they're going to either have to recycle or throw away, but when you thermoform something, you don't really get a whole lot of waste generally, or not as much. This is definitely a big visual statement. This is pretty much at the forefront of what you can make in terms of a form or footwear, I should say. I'm admittedly not the biggest Yeezy fan out there. I like some of their silhouettes, especially the 700 and the Foam Runners. A lot of people think the Foam Runners are super ugly, and I could see why people would react that way. It's very different. It's not, if you kind of know how humans react, it's all about pattern formation, and seeing a piece of footwear like designed this way is not in the general pattern or what you would recognize as a piece of footwear or a sneaker. So that's why so many people are super repulsed by it. But if you kind of step back and take time to look at this sneaker for its technology and what it's doing in 2020 and 2021, this is honestly a super crazy design and has a lot of crazy technologies that made it possible to even make something like this in the first place. But yeah, you know, I've always looked at Yeezy as an arm to Adidas, meaning how, if you guys don't know, for example, how Tudor is a sister brand of Rolex. So Rolex has the super well-known, standardized, and industry standard designs, what you've come to expect from the brand in terms of their identity and their designs. And Tudor is where Rolex really kind of wilds out with their designs. So they do crazier colors there. They do designs that you wouldn't usually expect to see on a Rolex because it caters to two very different consumer bases. And I kind of look at Yeezy brand like that too. You know, Tudor is where Rolex really pushes the boundaries with what they are known to be able to do, which is why you almost never hear about how Tudor is a part of Rolex. Not a lot of people know that. Just like how Yeezy is pushing some crazy designs out that you would never see Adidas doing. And it's not because they can't do it, it's just, like I said, they are catering towards two very different consumer bases, and you don't really want to cannibalize each other. So that's why you'll see different designs from each side. And that's why I find this piece of footwear really cool and interesting, because there isn't really anything like this. You know, some people might say like a Croc is similar to it, but it's not really. A Croc is obviously like a slipper. Birkenstock is obviously like a slipper or a slide, but a Yeezy Foam Runner is really a hybrid between a sneaker and a slide. But anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My name's Jayce. I drop new videos every Thursday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell notification. I make new videos every Thursday. And as always, keep it locked here, support your local businesses, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.